went to Richard. I said, Richard, do you have a Grand Marshal for this year's parade? He said, no, do you have any ideas? I said, how about Donna? And you just see her beaming. He said, do you think she'll take it? I said, look at her. Of course she takes it. She is the most deserving person we could possibly have for this year's Grand Marshal.
You know, I'll do my best to have you win this election. So,
take care of the parade first.
I know you will. I was really focusing on your election, and then when you threw that in, I'm like, But I definitely do my best to do both roles.
We thank you, Senator, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us, and wish you all the best in all your future endeavors, and you know what.
Thank you very much.
We also have our radio talk personality, the founder of the Guardian Angels, former Grand Marshal of 2009, Honorable Curtis Sliwa.
It's a pleasure to be joining all of you again. In fact, this being the theme of estrogen being stronger than testosterone. I brought to this event the Guardian Angel attorney, Nancy Regula, who was born in Greenpoint, comes out of Bohemia, Long Island, could have been Miss Columbia there. And she is the attorney for Guardian Angels all over the world. So that estrogen strength is epitomized in who you've chosen as Grand Marshal today, because as much as I've known Donna, her husband, Mariusz, they have been activists, agitators. Many in the Polish-American community have been passive, quiet, you pay your taxes, you're into law and order, and you're well respected for that. But oftentimes, Polish Americans don't rise to the occasion when there are issues that affect not only their community, but other communities, because they don't want to be seen as agitators. Well, you're looking at one right here. Polish-American leadership in America, it certainly has had its fair share of agitators, and Donna follows in those footsteps. I remember when you got elected to the Board of Education in Garfield, they were having qualms about this, because she was challenging them on every issue, because naturally, that affects taxpayers' dollars. So whether you were Polish in Garfield, or Italian, or the New Mexicans coming in, everything that involved your children going to that school, Donna took personally, because as a mother of 3 children, she obviously felt the needs of the parents in that community. But I won't tell you my own experience, because I'd like to pay tribute to who was my godfather, my mentor, State Senator Lesniak, soon to be governor in the state of New Jersey. At least we'll have a governor who's in New Jersey. But that was Tom Poster, the great columnist for the Daily News, always promoting Polish-American pride. He invited me out to Riverhead. We sat down for stuffed cabbage, pierogies, kielbasa. He said, you could be the Grand Marshal. I said, me? Most people don't even know I'm Polish. Don't worry about it, leave it to me. And I remember we went to St. Stanislaus in Ozone Park, where I grew up for a few years. My sister went there. And they were having a big vote there, and I think, Richard, you were running at that time, if I remember correctly. Richard, you were running. The vote turns out it's like 62-0. And I turned to Tom and I said, Tom, you're one of the voters, right? Oh yeah, I didn't want to get caught in this tsunami here, so I had to vote for Richard. Don't worry, have some tchotchkes and a cup of coffee, your time will come. And it eventually did come. And I was proud to serve as Grand Marshal, really for my father, Chester, who was the oldest of 4 sons of Anton and Wanda from Limanova, the highlands of Poland, right off the Czechoslovakian border, who raised their family in Chicago with Polish-American pride. The most important thing was my father, who was soon to pass, was able to see me as the Grand Marshal. The worst part of that, though, was when I left St. Patrick's after the High Mass, right before the parade started. There was a tour group from San Diego that was passing by, and they knew, because we have Guardian Angels in San Diego, and they said, Curtis, I didn't know that Polish people have a parade in honor of Roman Polanski. It's a Polanski. Kosciuszko. They said Kosciuszko. I said Kosciuszko. And you see, that's why Donna's vote as Grand Marshal was so important, because she not only epitomizes Polish pride, which we need to accentuate because it gets overwhelmed by all the other ethnic groups. Oftentimes our voices are just swallowed up. But she also epitomizes Polish power. What I believe is the most important trait that the Poles brought to America, my grandparents included, which is Polish-American patriotism to this country and how important it has been. So when we say Pulaski and Kosciuszko, you need to educate, you need to say it not only to your own children and great-grandchildren, but also to so many other Americans who have taken their contribution for granted because they were never taught that. And I am assured that with this new generation, God will epitomize all of that.
Straight. I may be an agitator, but I do pay my taxes.
So we thank you very much, Mr. Sliwa, for being with us this evening, taking time for your busy schedule. And we always know you're at the parade, so we look forward to seeing you there this year. We also have with us this evening the Emmy Award-winning TV and radio personality, author, and Rita Cosby.
It's very fitting that I'm here tonight because I think about when I started the journey with my father. Curtis said, you've got to meet. Curtis and I have been dear buds for years, and he said, you've got to meet this amazing woman named Donna. And this was, I know how many years ago because you didn't have any children at the time, and now she has 3 kids, including this one, her oldest. But it was at least 7-8 years ago. And I just want to speak from the heart about Donna because Curtis has said so eloquently about the tremendous heritage and the tremendous fight of this woman. But I also want to talk about Donna's incredible grace. She is such a class act, and such a die-hard friend, and such an amazing human being. And her life story is nothing short of remarkable. She is the daughter of 2 Polish immigrants who came to the United States in the 1960s, including her dad, who I met tonight. This is so amazing. He was a Fox fan, so I really love him. But I love the story of what you've done and what you've done to your daughter, because she is an amazing woman and is such a testament to you and your wife and your whole heritage. I know she was also raised by her grandmother, so it is so fitting that a woman who is now the Grand Marshal was raised by a woman. And as Curtis so eloquently said, you look at the history of Poland, and you look at the role of women in Polish history. Dating back, first of all, of course, so beautiful that so many of your Grand Marshals have been women. I love that you talked about Catherine, and you talked about Regina, honoring Regina tonight, Richard. It's so beautiful, and it's so fitting because this woman truly is a warrior. And so fitting that she is named after the father of the American cavalry, Pulaski. When you think of it, she is a fighter through and through. You came here, I know, with not a lot of money. You started out from nothing. And you came here, and since you have been here, your daughter has worked tirelessly, gotten amazing grades. She's gotten scholarships upon scholarships. And now she is with a medical practice that she herself has been running. And you think about what that means, not just man or woman, but just human being, to go from just one generation, as I did with my father too, to come here and to be able to succeed as your daughter has done. She has excelled in everything she has done. And she is also an incredible human being. She's a great friend. She is a great patriot. And I love the fact, Richard, that it coincides with World Youth Day, because when I see Donna, I think so much about how much she cares about the next generation learning about the history of Poland. She is like an encyclopedia about Kosciuszko, about Pulaski, about all of our incredible great heroes that we have so much to be proud of. And I feel like our job as communicators often is to be able to shout to the rooftops about how incredible the Polish history is. And I feel like whenever we get a chance to share it on the airwaves, people go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. And you have probably the best spokesperson here in Donna. She is an incredible testament of the human spirit. She, I think, is going to be the beacon of light for this incredible organization. And I can't wait to see her big, huge, beaming face with her 3 beautiful children, her wonderful husband, marching down Fifth Avenue. Curtis and I will talk about it from the rooftops, and we are so proud to be here tonight. You have picked the best Grand Marshal ever, and I'm so honored to be here tonight.
For the first time in a long time, we have a representative from the Governor of New York's office. David Turley is here. He's the Director of Constituency Affairs for Governor Cuomo. He has a special presentation for Dr. Koch.
Good evening, everyone. My name is David Turley, and unfortunately the governor couldn't make it here tonight, but this event was very, very important to him. He wanted to make sure that I was here to personally deliver this letter to Dr. Koch. It is a wonderful evening, and I want to thank you and the Polish Consulate for hosting this wonderful event. A couple of reasons why we're here, really, at the end of the day, the most important reason is that Dr. Koch is such a good representative of the Polish community and has done so much not only for the Polish community, but for the New York community and the tri-state area in general. And so congratulations. We couldn't think of a better person to bestow this honor to. Without further ado, I'm going to read a brief section of the letter because I don't want to bore everyone. Dear friends, it's a pleasure to send greetings to everyone gathered for this special ceremony of the General Pulaski Memorial Parade Committee, at which you designate this year's Grand Marshal. Tonight, your committee honors this son of Poland, General Pulaski, and also bestows this year's Grand Marshal sash upon Dr. Donna Koch. I congratulate Donna Koch and applaud the work of your member and volunteers who so well exemplify the spirit of the Polish American community. Warmest regards and best wishes for a wonderful parade. Sincerely, Governor Ashton.
So I did sincerely want to thank the governor's office. It means the world to me that he had thought of me and he had actually sent David over to present that proclamation on his behalf. I just want to let you know that I did also get a call from Governor Blasio's office, from the International Affairs Director, who did say that he would try to make it to the parade. He obviously couldn't be here with us tonight, but we did get a positive response. He did send his congratulations to us and to the parade and a successful parade on Fifth Avenue. Thank you.
And we also have Dr. Martin Levine, the Associate Dean of Turley College of Osteopathic Medicine, who serves as the 115th President of the American Osteopathic Association.
I've known Dr. Donna Koch before she was Dr. Koch. Actually, she was a student in my office. And there are certain things that happen when you're teaching medical students in your discipline, mine of which is family medicine. And that is, you have a secret feeling that, if you really get through to the student, they might actually do what you do. So they can go through all the different disciplines of medicine and, get swayed to do general surgery maybe, or orthopedic surgery, or neurology, or something else. But when they show an interest in your discipline, then you think you have their ear. The reality was that I didn't have Donna's ear. She had mine. Donna was an exemplary student from day one. Today, we measure students and residents and physicians in many categories, and some of those categories actually have already been used to describe Donna. One of them is professionalism. One of the things that's important about that is you're in a very significant position sometimes with a physician, and you're telling them things that are very important to you. And that physician really has to understand where you're coming from. And in regards to that, it's one of those things that builds. That physician builds trust with that patient. Well, if you asked any of my patients that were treated by Donna Koch while she was a student, they would surely say that they would go to her when she became a physician. If you ask any of the residents that Dr. Koch served with under my residency program, she did follow into that program, and I have utmost gratitude to her to control that whole class for me. But besides that, if you ask any of those residents whom they would go to out of their residency class, it would have been Dr. Koch. I have to say that one of the things that we have heard about Dr. Koch is how active she is in her community. The way we measure that in physicians as they go through their training is we have them ask the patients about what else is going on in their lives regarding their insurance, whether they can actually get the medication, whether they can actually get the proper treatment, the physical therapy, occupational, whatever. One of the few students to actually master that whole world outside of the office was Dr. Koch. She understood what the patient needed and went to that front desk, went outside with the patient and said, this is what you need, this is how you're going to get it, and I'm going to make sure of that. When you work within a system like healthcare in the United States, it can be very daunting. But Dr. Koch always took the time to understand all of the ramifications so that that patient could get the best quality care possible. And she went out of her way, and this was as a medical student. When she became a resident, it was to the nth degree. And she taught everyone around her how to provide health care in a more humanitarian way, in a more professional way, and in a way that would make them feel like they had just been to the best physician they had ever been to. One other thing about Dr. Koch, and she knows I'm going to say this. I was at a meeting and all of the residents had just taken their boards. When you graduate from your residency program, or just before you graduate, you take your residency boards. It's a very difficult exam. It takes several hours, and you sit there and you mark up the pencil. Back then, you didn't take it on a computer. But you mark up your thing, and it takes a while. And it measures your medical knowledge, among other things. That year, I was approached by the leader of the board who ran over to tell me that one of my residents was the resident who had scored the highest in the exam in the country. I've always been a leader, as a student, as a resident, as a practicing physician in Garfield. We have certainly had a professional, collegial, and I always have mentioned her as a colleague to others who have gone up into that area to say, this is what we need here, this is what you need to exemplify to anyone who goes up in that area. And I would say you have picked a true leader, someone who is devoted to her heritage. I know that because when we would sit there and have lunch or any downtime, I would hear a lot about it. And it was out of pride, and it was out of a deep respect. And she really exemplifies it. So congratulations on a great person and a great pick.
Thank you so much to Dr. Martin Levine, my mentor. I mean, you mean the world to me. Dr. Levine had actually got me involved in the United States Anti-Doping Agency some 15 years ago. And we were the physicians at the finish line in the New York City Marathon. And that's why I so wholeheartedly invited Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio and all the politicians here, because I always saw them there at the finish line. And I said, you know what, I want you here at the starting line. So that being said, I will work my hardest. I can't promise you. I've been on the committee, so I know how difficult it is sometimes to get them out. They are politicians, they have busy schedules, then again, so do all of we, whether it's personal, professional, family. So we'll do our best to try to get them out and get recognized on that level. And just a little word about Dr. Levine, other than that he's probably the finest medical director and mentor that I've had. Dr. Levine was also at the final finish line, and he provided medical help when the Boston Marathon, during the Boston Marathon. I helped him out on that finish line that year. I happened not to be there, but he was one of the first responders. So big kudos to you, because that shows bravery. I love you to death, Dr. Levine. So thank you for this.
And the honored guest, last but not least, is Tom Duch. Tom Duch is a longtime friend of Polonia, has been a longtime supporter of one of our projects. He helped make sure there was a Pulaski statue in the city of Garfield, and he's a longtime friend. So please come forward. Tom Duch serves as the city manager of the city of Garfield.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to our Father Felix, our President, Mr. Zavisny, Council General, Governor Lesniak, ladies and gentlemen. I like it. It has been a wonderful evening, and it's been a wonderful evening because it has been an evening filled with Polish pride, heritage, family, faith. You've seen it all. It has been exhibited so splendidly. We should be so proud of who has been chosen to be the Grand Marshal this year. I serve as the city manager in the city of Garfield. Many years ago, I served as the mayor, I served as a state assemblyman, I served in the legislature with Senator Lesniak, and I have had the great opportunity in all my years of service in the city of Garfield to be part of the Pulaski Parade Committee at St. Stanislaus Kostka Church in Garfield. It is a wonderful place. When they sing the hymns at the end of the services, you can feel the walls shake because of the pride, because of the faith, because the people know where they come from and they're proud of it. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we celebrate a wonderful lady. You know, Curtis Sliwa said before, Donna Koch shook up the Board of Education. She did. Wow. I sat across the way in City Hall, and I said, yeah, go get her. And she did. She was an excellent, excellent public servant. She is an amazing doctor. My father is 87 years old. My father loves to go to Dr. Donna Koch's office. All right? Here's a man who waits for his doctor's appointment. and she's great with him. He loves to talk. He loves an audience. And so do I. But he loves an audience. And she gives him the opportunity to be who he is. And when he leaves, he feels great, not only health-wise, but he feels great personally. He's had a great experience because he's been with a great woman. Dr. Koch now has become, of course, she's always been a great daughter, right? All right? She's always been a great daughter. She is a wonderful wife, and she's obviously a wonderful mother. And she does all those things well. We expect her to be an amazing Grand Marshal. We in the city of Garfield will be there to support her now and always. We salute the committee for their great work, and I will tell you on behalf of the Mayor and Council of the City of Garfield, she will be honored at a special meeting of the City Council of the City of Garfield, where she will be given a special presentation. We will let the committee know so that that can be disseminated by email. You are, of course, invited. Council General, your home is beautiful. Right? It really is. I've been here many times. Your speech is wonderful. You set the tone for a wonderful evening. And of course, Dr. Koch has set the tone for a wonderful year, a year that will be a tremendous success for the Pulaski Parade Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to embrace it. We need to be there. We need to march. We need to be part of it. We need to be proud of who we are, where we come from, and where we are going. Leaders in America, leaders for the Polish community. Congratulations, Dr. Koch.
Tom is my dear friend, obviously from the city of Garfield, that I've been serving this community for so long. He's always level-headed. If there's any questions that I have, if there's any problems that I have, he never gets angry, he never gets rambunctious. He always has the time to speak to everybody, whether it's me or a resident of the town of Garfield. He's done such a wonderful job, so I thank you. And his father comes to my office, I think more to mingle with my patients in the waiting room, in all honesty, because he spends a whole heck of a lot of time there watching television. Where's my office manager now? She's here somewhere, she can vouch for that. He's there forever, and we don't mind that, seriously, because he keeps the patients company. So that being said, thanks again, Tom. So again, thank you to everybody. I think we're done with the formal part of the speeches, so